One of the biggest questions here in Washington these days is how to do anything without making the deficit grow. Chief Washington correspondent Jim Engel concludes his series on taxes with a look at how government is trying to do more with fewer people paying in.
Democratic leaders in the House want a surtax on the wealthy to pay for health care reform. Others want a surtax to pay for the war in Afghanistan. But Washington's in a bind. It has excluded so many from the tax rolls, 1/3 of filers now pay no income taxes, that it gets harder and harder to raise revenue.
That's more than 46 million tax filers have zero income tax liability at the end of the day.
Another 15 million don't earn enough to pay taxes, meaning more than 60 million adults pay no income tax. One reason is that tax credits have proliferated. So a family with children that makes as much as $35,000 to $40,000 a year, for instance, can pay no income tax. And even those who owe no tax can get those credits anyway, meaning they get a check from the government. And with so many paying no income tax, what do they care how much Congress is spending? What do they care if the deficit is expanding at alarming rates?
People who don't pay taxes have less of a stake in what government does with the money that's collected by the Treasury.
We've inoculated these people from the cost of government. They no longer have any skin in the game. And so they will endlessly demand government benefits because they're not sharing in any of the costs.
That also leads to another problem. The president and others say they only want to tax the rich, those making more than $250,000. But there aren't enough of them to be the cash cow for all the things Congress and the president want to do.
There's just not enough money up there. We can't tax only the rich, the way that President Obama proposed.
In fact, the Tax Foundation looked to see what it would take to balance the budget over the next 10 years, taxing only the wealthy.
You'd need to increase their tax rates by about 30 percentage points. We're talking about marginal tax rates in the 60 to 70% range.
Rates not seen since the 1960s, which most believe would reduce investment, hurt the economy, and reduce jobs.
It's very hard to enact, at this point, sensible tax policy because so many people aren't paying taxes.
One expert says when you have more than 60 million Americans not paying income taxes and thinking someone else is paying the bills, they'll back any crazy government scheme to spend more as long as there's a chance it'll benefit them.